Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. 7-point road favorites are the Cleveland Browns. The total sitting here about 47 and a half. This is Deshaun Watson returning at quarterback, ironically or not so ironically, against his old team here on the road. Steven, this is another one of the teaser legs in my round robin this week. The Browns down to 1. I am not so much worried about if I only need the Browns to win the game. I'm not so much worried about Deshaun Watson and rust, which is the thing that we're going to hear all week long, not playing a meaningful game in about 2 years. That being said, has been able to practice the last couple of weeks, did play in the preseason. I do want to throw that out there. Hadn't played in a real game in a couple of years, but what has been at practice and what did play in the preseason. We know this Houston Texans team is just, they're absolutely dead. Nobody even wants to be out there anymore. You can actually watch the team on the sidelines, like while they're playing. Nobody wants to be playing for this team anymore. And then further, they have made the decision, I think, to go ahead and just punt on the rest of the season as they move away from Davis Mills and go to Kyle Allen. So I think they're kind of showing us the writings on the wall as well when it comes to all this. Even if Deshaun Watson looks terrible, they can turn around and hand the ball to Chubb and Hunt 40 times in this game and still win this game. And is Stefanski sharp enough to do that? I would like to think so. Give me Cleveland just to win the game here. I don't want to lay the 7, although if we knew we had a healthy / sharp / not rusty Deshaun Watson, this number would be 10. So, I mean, you can kind of take that into account as well. Just give me Cleveland to win the game in a teaser leg.
Yeah, you read my mind. And if everybody watching is sensing a theme, you're right. It's a great week for teasers.
Oh, it's a fantastic week. Yeah.
Hopefully this goes better than it did the first month of the season. But yeah, you read my mind, Matt. I'm not sure I care what percentage of the old Deshaun Watson we're getting in this game. They could trot one of us out there at quarterback, or maybe even Zach Wilson, and win this game by at least a field goal. So yeah, I think the teaser is solid here. The Texans are bottom of the league, bottom 3 in rush DVOA, 30th by PFF against the run. Handed to Chubb and Hunt 50 times and walk away with probably a double-digit win still.
Adam, if we look at this too, it's like, and this was kind of my handicap with this, was people saying like, dude, well, aren't you worried this guy hadn't played any football and whatever, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, an 80% Deshaun Watson or a 100% Jacoby Brissett, I would still be interested in the Browns like teaser leg in this thing, right? Like I don't care. Give me 75% Deshaun Watson or 100% Jacoby Brissett. I would still like to take this 7 down to a 1. So yeah, okay, give me only 3/4 of what Deshaun Watson actually is. I don't think he's going to have to go out there and light it up through the air as it is in the first place. And so the handicap was actually fairly simple to me. I think people might be even, dare I say, overanalyzing this, because I don't think the play of Deshaun Watson is necessarily going to be a big factor in whether they win this game or not.
Okay. This game's a trap, and I'm going to pass. And I understand everything you guys just said, and I think a lot of it is based on what we think the Cleveland Browns are, based on what we've seen them do at various points of the season. They haven't been that good lately in a lot of different ways. But the one that scares me, we talk about Chubb and Hunt, and I know how bad the Houston run defense has been and is. If we were to use that last 4 weeks that we've been using, the Cleveland Browns are 29th in rush EPA per play. Not middle of the pack and had a little fall off. Like, they're 29th. I'm interested in the over, even at the slightly inflated number that we're at right now, open 43. There are still 46.5s on the board if you want to play in that spot. Because the one thing I'm confident about is that the Browns will score. I also think the Texans will score. You guys can take the Browns to win the game. I understand everything about the handicap. I understand why it makes sense to you. To me, it isn't just about Deshaun Watson. To me, it's a lot about this Cleveland defense being almost as bad as Houston. No one's on that Chicago level that you mentioned, but this Cleveland defense is absolutely abysmal. And I wonder if even the Texans are going to be able to move the ball enough to bring this into the range where variance plays in. So I might look stupid in the end. The Browns might win this game by 17, but I'll pass.
Yeah, the other thing you did bring up is the total. That was my other angle in this one that I have this one circled. If There are two different paths, I think, for this thing starting out super slow, which is one, there is the rust factor for Deshaun Watson. And two, maybe they just try to ease him into the game. And there's just an incredible amount of run heavy approach at the beginning of this game. I think this is a prime in-game over opportunity at some point throughout the course of this game. So this is the one I have circled to make sure I keep an eye on one of the TVs moving forward, because I think we might find ourselves into the first quarter. Maybe it's only 3-0 or something, or, something like that, 3-3. And we're going to get a really, really good number to come in on the over as these things kind of open up a little bit more. So that's another angle I think we can take in this game.